talking, just so you can follow on. All right. So keep your feet width apart. Sit at the edge. So for the next exercise, what I'm going to be doing is I'm dabbling into Chinese spirituality known as Taoism. And this exercise is going to be helpful if you can do it every day. It would be the absolute peak and best. But again, if you're doing it a few times a week, it's better than doing it zero, right? So we always take what we can get in this regard. So in traditional Chinese medicine, there are major organs in the body, and they've gone further to stipulate that each organ has a color, a season, a direction, a taste, a planet, as well as negative and positive emotions. So when we experience things in our day-to-day that we're being challenged, we're being triggered, even something we've inherited genetically or just even being brought up with, we will experience emotions. So again, in traditional Chinese medicine, these specific emotions are linked to a specific organ. So what I really like about this practice is the idea is not that we're trying to get rid of these emotions, right? It's about transmuting them, converting them into something positive, so we can work with a huge helping of negative, rather just focus on getting rid, which is quite a negative mindset. It's about actually, let's take what we got and make it explosive into something more positive, which I really resonate with, I think, yeah? So, I don't think I feel. So, a lot of people, you know, there's guaranteed traumas that we will experience in life, you know, changing career, leaving home, death of a loved one, illness of a loved one or of self, that will arise in triggers and experiences that will shift and change our mindsets and perceptions. A lot of people don't know how to deal or process emotions, or reciprocally, they don't have the resources to be able to go to places and deal with them. And this is what's really lovely about this practice, is that this is something you can do at home, and it is kind of a combined practice of transmuting things as well as a meditation to help it become more still and more present and more grounded in your body. So again, how I like to work is I like to do one thing that encompasses a lot of things. It's very efficient, very effective, because in today's world we don't have a lot of time, right? If you want to be able to do it all, which I always want to, let's make things more practical, efficient and effective, right? So in Taoism, we're focusing on 5 major organs of the body. And I need to train, if you've never done this kind of work before, know this kind of information, that major organs of the body will always be married to another organ, right? So they're not major organs, you know, if you want to give them a name, minor organs, but they're always partnered together, right? So the major organ, first one we deal with is lungs. Its married partner is the large intestine. So if you have breathing problems, you're going to have stomach problems. It's very common, especially in the work that I do, because I work in gut health alongside other things, right? This emotion that we're dealing with is going to be about sadness, grief, melancholy, right? And we want to convert that or transmute that. Then we're going to do a practice, or actually 2 practices that are combined into one, which we're going to do called healing sounds and inner smile, right? Your next organ we're dealing with is going to be your liver. The married partner is the gallbladder. The next one, this is sort of like a threesome, if you will. We're dealing with the spleen. The married partners are the pancreas and the stomach, but most commonly known as the stomach, and then the pancreas is just sort of like, well, we don't know where else with this guy, let's just put them in, right, with this group. We got the heart. The heart is linked to the small intestine. Then we've got the kidneys, and the kidneys are linked to the bladder, right? And the kidneys, I didn't describe the emotions, yes. So if we go to the lungs are dealing with grief, sadness, melancholy. The liver is anger, right? The heart is frustration, impatience, jealousy. The stomach, very popular one, the spleen, ungrounded, unrooted, anxiety, worry, you know, very popular one. So a lot of people do have stomach issues and they do experience these moods, emotions. And then the kidneys are to deal with fear, right? So this makes sense that when you're really scared, something frightens you, you have an accident, people generally pee themselves because, as I said, the married partner is the bladder. So I'm going to do the exercise, explain it, and then I'm going to do the exercise again, and then you can just follow that video in future videos, future watching or future viewing, so you understand and you don't have to listen to all of this in and out, right? So the idea is we're going to breathe in, and we're dealing with lungs first. We're going to breathe in with our hands, palms facing up, and then we're going to switch them over, right? So that's how the motion will be, the range of motion. And the sound is going to be kind of like what a snake makes, right? And like I said, we like to do everything in sets of 3. If you only have a short time, do 3, 6, 9, yeah? But I'll do 3 for this exercise. And then when you finish doing 3, you're gonna bring your hands down and you're gonna place them on the major organ, which is the lungs, so it's just above the chest. It's wide and dispersed as possible because the lungs are quite large. And then you're gonna close your eyes and kind of visualize it. You're gonna visualize love coming through your hands, energy sending like Reiki, and you're gonna smile and just in your head think gratitude, thank you for all that you do, thank you for keeping me alive, that kind of thing. Yeah. So just remember. Then we're gonna move to the liver, and we're gonna basically intertwine our hands, lift them up, and then exhale to the right 3 times. And the sound is like telling someone to keep quiet. Shh. Okay, 3 times. And we're gonna place just under the boob or the, I guess, pectoral muscle of men and women. You're gonna place your hand right under on the rib cage, and we're just gonna do sort of 2 hands or dispersed. But the idea is not to put hands covering each other because you want to maximize area of healing. So you're just gonna put them on top and just place it about here, right? Can't go wrong. The liver is massive. It's a 1.4 kilogram organ, right? Again, with consciousness, sending love, gratitude, healing, and you will feel with time and more practice that your hands are going to get warm, and you're going to think that's really weird, but it's not weird. It's actually just tapping into one of your most natural abilities, and that's self-healing, right? We all have special abilities. We just have to work on them and practice them like anything in life, right? Next one is the heart, and the sound is like spelling ha 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 ha, but the sound is so we're gonna again take our hands, intertwine them, and because the heart is on the left hand side, liver and gallbladder is on the right hand side, so we go right for the liver, left for the heart, so exact same motion but except going this way. We do 3 times, and we're going to come again, placing hands on top of each other and on more toward the left hand side, sending love, healing light, thanking for the joy, the gratitude, you know, happiness, loving relationships, you know, and you can just use it as your meditation of anything that you feel grateful. So we're trying to adjust mindset here, just switching from a negative to a positive, like grateful, thank you for keeping me alive, thanking you for pumping my blood, thank you for allowing me to be open to love and receive love, that kind of thing, loving relationships in my life, romantic friendships, family, that kind of thing, right? Then we're going to go to the spleen, stomach, pancreas, right? This is a funny one, and I'm doing it on camera, but it is what it is, right? We call it the chi knife. So we're going to take 2 fingers, bend them, put it in. You can do all, depending on how big your fingers are. But the idea is under the rib cage, you're going to just basically poke, like if my ribs end here, you're going to poke in there. In, and then try to go in and under the rib a little bit, look. So the best will be to be at the edge of a chair, keep your feet hip width apart. So you don't lose your balance and stationary. And then the idea is you're going to just poke in, up, and make your sound like this, right? And the sound does not sound pretty, but the sound is like you're very disgusted at something you've seen. It's like, ugh. So, or a dying animal. I don't know what it sounds like, but it or almost like a ghost, like a boogeyman, a scary thing that you just want all this ugliness just to come out and transmute, right? So the idea is and I want you to push out, and again this will get better with practice, but push out as far as possible, as much as possible, till you literally have no air left, and then you still have a little bit more, and you just continue that, right? And you release that completely, and you'll do that 3 times, and again, hands on top of each other, place it sort of just under the rib cage down. Send love, gratitude, smile, smile, smile. And you can say this all in your head, so you don't have to let people hear you, because you can speak internally, of course, inside voice. Just saying love, gratitude, thank you for working, thank you for helping me digest food, thank you for the grounding, the balancing, you know, helping me with blood circulation, getting rid of old cells for my immune system, etc. Sugar balancing, you know, all of these different things. And you know, and if you want to talk about emotional, just handling things well, having grounding in my life, that kind of thing. Right, so when you're ready, you let go. And the last one would be the kidneys. We have 2 kidneys, so on the left hand, right hand side. So you kind of want to just feel for your rib cage, like so. I just pinch, quite literally, feel for your rib cage, then go a little bit more central, so I sort of work there. I think of it like a model, like you just want to get petite, you know, that kind of thing. That action, and then what you're going to do is sit there, and the sound is going to be like blowing out a candle, or like a cold wind or draft coming in, and the sound is but more, I would say, a lower note. And as you do that, you breathe in, and then you just smile to the kidneys. You tell gratitude, love, thankfulness, thank you for filtering my blood, thank you for hydration, thank you for managing the adrenals that sit on top of the kidneys as well, because that's sort of linked as well, attached. And just thanking for the gentleness and the kindness that comes, right? And then when you end practice, you're going to bring your hands together and you put it on your dantian. So if your navel is there, you're just going to place it just under the navel. You can put a hand on top of each other. You'll feel it's quite warm. You just want to send energy there. And this is what they call your cauldron, so like a place where all your energy gets stored. And we imagine like a pearl, we're just charging this pearl in there, just sending this pearl. And always smiling, 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 right? And that will be the practice. So now I'm going to do it